Master. Thank you everyone for coming today as well. We just heard a great speech from Melanie detailing a lot of the thoughts and practices that we can do in this time that has a manifold of troubles for us. And I am here today to let you know that I am going to show the practice of what you can do with some of those ideas. Specifically, as a teacher, the first thing I did when I got this particular new tool is I started playing around with it. For example, I noticed that in screen share, I had this magical thing called a whiteboard. Say hello. And I can even give myself the magical gold star. But that is not all that I can do, for you see, I can also screen share my other tabs and give this as an example, a nice physical example of what I am doing. So as you all saw, I like to start my day off with some exercises, which this is my blog. I have come back to it, and I had a blog post on that last Friday. And I forgot to upload the video of myself doing that last Friday, so I will add that to my list of things to do. But I always start out with a little bit of exercise, for as people like to say, a healthy body is a healthy mind, and a healthy mind is a healthy body. Those things go hand in hand. So on alternating days, I start out with either a nice walk or a run, then I come home and my roommate Jenny leads me through some stretches, because in college she did a lot of dancing and therefore her knowledge of stretching is well above mine. And then I go through my research that I did online about how to exercise, and I try to implement it. Fun fact that I have learned, sit-ups are very bad for you. Your spine is not meant to curve that way, and they will actually be detrimental to your health and not really help with the old ab muscles. Then I get into my work periods after I have a nice full breakfast. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I like to start out with my blog. In terms of Monday, I was writing all about how the ideas that we have are not necessarily always new, but that's okay, because you see, over the weekend I was talking with a student about his work, and he had the great idea of having doors be portals between worlds. He was a little disappointed that someone else had come up with that idea first, but I managed to convince him that even though someone else had, it still had value that he had come up with it himself. So finding those areas where we can express ourselves and we show our creativity is grand. Speaking of creativity, I have started making YouTube videos, specifically of two varieties. One, I teach Dungeons and Dragons, and not everyone knows what that is. So to let my parents know all about it, I've been creating a series of YouTube videos all about D&D basics, including how to dungeon master. I've also been using the fact I can do the funny voices. I'm doing the Star Wars script in all sorts of voices.
Which is so much fun for me, because then I just get to explore and play and hopefully bring joy to the world.
But that is not all, for you see, I have also set myself a goal. Specifically, I am writing a book. Currently, the book is all of, let's go with 45 chapters plus the 2 I haven't put in yet. So 42 chapters for book 1. It is a story that I told my children on an overnight a couple of years ago about anthropomorphic orcas who transform from pirates into gummy bears, because that is what my children told me they wanted, and they are insane, but I love them, so I give them what they want. Remember, everyone, always keep your audience in mind. Speaking of my children, I actually am still employed. For you see, I reached out to the school and said, well, we're doing a great job of giving kids their classroom environment at home. I think we need to give them social opportunities as well. So I managed to convince my school to let me continue to do Dungeons and Dragons with my children. But I thought to myself, why stop there? So I went on and I created my own version of Occurrence. We started this a little bit beforehand. These are the Shuck Bucks. Not Shock Bucks, but Shuck Bucks. They're a gambling currency, they're purchasing currency. What we do is we have a running total with the total right here, and each week they gain a certain amount, and they always start with 10 each week. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I send out a video of a marble run that has been turned into a NASCAR-style race. And I give the names of the top 7 teams, and they have to guess who got in one of the first 5 places. They can place bets on as many as they would like. If they manage to pick someone from the 1st through 5th places, they will at least not lose any. But if they bet on any in the 6th or 7th place, then, oh my God, they will lose a manifold of their currency. But What can the currency do? Well, it can be used to buy certain things. It can be used to buy bonuses for their D&D games, or if they are one of the student leaders, something terrible to do to their players. Maybe they will turn them into squirrels. Maybe they will force them to act awkward, or maybe they will steal a player from another group and force them to be in their campaign for the day. Or maybe they will focus on my videos and they will tell me exactly what script I should read next, or what voice I should read next, or what funny video we'll start the class with, or even better, choose something school appropriate yet still silly and embarrassing for me to do on camera. Or perhaps they will do something specifically with the Shuckbucks. For you see, in addition to all of this, I've also started giving them build challenges. They spend so much of their time on screen that who knows how much time they get off screen. So I'm giving them a reason to turn off that device and really use their brains creatively to do something new. This week's topic is, why the do I have to be in school again? They are giving me either drawings or things built in Legos. And I can tell you right now, I have received so many drawings of random scribble colors that I don't quite know what I should do. If I should just do a nice quilt of insanity or pick randomly which one speaks to me in a very Pollock kind of way. The best Lego so far, by the way, was a kid who spelled out the word help in Legos. I think my children are struggling with being back in school, and I love it. Because you see, every Friday, we get to have the real fun. They pick 2 topics for me to research each week, and therefore, I create a nice little quiz game for them. This week's topic is Peanuts, the plant, and Peanuts, the comic strip. Because first off, we had the comics, and the next person decided to be silly. So the quiz this week is called Peanuts with a T, because you can all guess how I could mispronounce that if I was not being careful with myself. Now, what does this do? Well, for them, it gives them something to look forward to. It gives them something to be excited about. And for me, it gives me direction with which to build that intellectual curiosity where I am researching things that I never thought I would research. Who knew that peanuts flower above the ground, yet seed below it? I do now, and I never would have known that beforehand. Also, who knew that in 2001, an entire bedroom wall that Charles Schultz drew on for his daughter was removed from a house and donated to a museum? So, my fellow Toastmasters, what I hope you will take from this is that there are a manifold of things that we can do to keep ourselves engaged. We can go out every morning and tell ourselves, yes, I will exercise. We can research the silly things and say, yes, this is useless, but at least I know more than I knew yesterday. And we can give ourselves goals and stick with them to prove that we are still alive and thriving and active. And one last thing, because I am a problem share, we can go away with the physical cards and maybe use something digital so that people can have access to something and we can all have the same mannerisms to recognize. Thank you very much, my fellow Toastmasters. Father, dearest, it is back to you.